Welcome to the first in a series of interviews here in Base Oils and Lubes Connect with our confirmed speakers for the 2022 European Base Oils and Lubricants Summit taking place this November in Lisbon. I'm delighted to be joined this morning by Dr. Wilhelm Huber, the Oleochemicals Development Manager at Peter Greven. Thank you for agreeing to share some insights on your upcoming presentation with us, Wilhelm.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for talking to me, and thanks everybody to look at the video and maybe hear what I have to say.
Absolutely. So biolubricants as a topic and industry have been well represented at our annual conference in recent years. It's also an area that provoked quite some discussion earlier this year in the community, which you may have seen. So I would therefore like to start by addressing the two key points which arose at that time. So the first, Wilhelm, was about actually defining a biolubricant. So I'd like to ask you how you would define a biolubricant.
Yeah, this is I suppose there's maybe a two-way answer to this. Maybe the one is like the origin of an lubricant. So probably like something like a lot or high biogenic content, renewable raw materials, stuff like that. So probably on one side you can say the more renewable material there's in, the more biolubricant it is. And the second point is probably for me the more important point. What is the impact on the environment? So is the lubricant degradable? Is this environmentally toxic or not? Stuff like that. So probably this would be my like maybe 70% answer. The impact on the environment is a point to define the biolubricant. 30% origin, 70% impact on the environment. So if you have like a biodegradable product and this have renewable origin, you're pretty fine talking about biolubricant.
And the origin, just to be clear, you're saying that it doesn't have to be 100% derived from bio-based feedstocks.
It, in my opinion, things that are 100% derived from one source are a little bit limited. So I would see a very high content on renewables raw material, but I don't think this is have to be like 100%.
Okay. And how close are we to having that or a definition defined? You know, in any specifications or in any standards that have to be met? Is there any kind of official definition there somewhere?
Yes, there are actually a few definitions that are trying to describe biolubricants. Some of them looking on what I said, like impact on environment, and some are more on the like where are your materials coming from. So, but there's no like no real 100% this is a biolubricant seal or certificate or something like that. This is probably something that have to be done to connect this two parts of the lubricant, the origin and the environmental impact.
Right, yeah. And so I said there were two points that really came across in the community earlier. The other one was really to do with the performance of biolubricants and really questioning whether they're able to perform as well as their mineral oil derived counterparts. So what would you say to people who still have questions or doubts about the ability of these biolubricants to perform?
Actually, I try to answer in a way that everybody can connect to, and the point is, biolubricants are in the way of the industry pretty new. So maybe we're talking about like 30, 20, 30 years, where it's really came up to a degree which is like, noticeable. And in this time period, the development was extremely fast and really big. But if you look at mineral oils, they have a longer history. So actually, they have a lot more time to develop, to perform, to really to the point, tailor-made for applications.
Hmm.
And if we get the same time, maybe even a little less for the biolubricants, we easily will be on the same level, or in my opinion, even a lot higher than mineral oils.
Hmm.
So right now, there's just like, you know, bio oils are known for certain applications where already better than mineral oils, but there are few they are not, because they still didn't have to develop. So I
Yeah.
say, um, in time, biolubricants uh, will exceed the mineralic oils.
Right. Well, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And obviously, you're working day in, day out to try and achieve that.
We try, yeah.
Yeah. Um, so thank you for addressing those. Now let's move on to the Lisbon event. And what can you tell us? What insights can you give us into what you'll be talking about at the event this November?
Yeah, I will try something, yeah, something new to me. I'll try myself as a little bit of a historian. And even within the biolubricants, there are few which are few yeah, like branches. We have native derived oils, we have synthetic oils, stuff like that. And I want to like have a little historical review, plus a little bit of technical insight. What the differences between them, and then show something where the future maybe go on
Hmm.
to where this all will yeah, combine. So
Right.
something like that.
Good, good. And I know that you're speaking a session with a couple of other speakers looking at the bio oils. But looking at the rest of the agenda, the topics and the other speakers, are there any that particularly caught your eye that you're looking forward to listening to?
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty open to hear any session, and always learn new things from participants. But I'm always like to hear what Thomas Norby has to say, for
Mhm.
example. So I'm pretty interested to see what his part in this will be.
Right. Yeah. Well, Thomas, one of our regular speakers at the event and on the conference circuit, so I'm sure he'll definitely have some interesting updates for us in November. So finally, I'd like to ask you a couple of kind of broader questions about developments and trends, really. So firstly, looking back a little bit, what would you say has been the most interesting development that you've seen in the biolubricant space since we last met in Amsterdam last November?
So actually, it would be it already started, or it started a little bit before, but everybody, yeah, understand and focused on mostly like fluids for electrical vehicles. So I
Hmm.
suppose this would be a grand topic over the next years, because electrifying the mobility will um, come with a need for lubricants which are capable to come up
Hmm.
with a new requirements for this. So I suppose it will be one of the big marks in the field. And the second one probably would be yeah, the lubricants which are derived from like palm oil, stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I probably group 5 lubricants will get bigger and bigger, I suppose, and with that will come the question about the raw materials. They're already there, but they will be posed more and more, I suppose.
Sure, sure. Um, and then finally, what would you say would be the next big milestone for the biolubricant industry?
Oh, uh, looking to the future.
Yeah,
Um,
because I
I,
mean,
I
there'll be lots of small victories along the way. I'm sure you have regular ones, but really just thinking about like what would be the next big moment for the industry, would you say, if
I
there
su
is one?
I suppose there could be one in the point when somebody really moves like waste oil or waste material turned to lubricants to a really grand scale, maybe something
Hmm.
like that,
Hmm.
because this is maybe a thing that is getting a lot of attention as well, but not on a scale that it should be probably. And the second one, I suppose somebody will come up with a molecule structure which is better than the others.
Yeah,
So maybe
yeah.
that will be the next milestone. Yeah.
Okay, great. And when you say waste oils, do you mean waste lubricants, or do you mean waste vegetable oils? Just to clarify.
Actually, it doesn't matter because
Okay.
I suppose both can be like seen as a raw material in a
Hmm.
way that's really impactful.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Excellent. Well, look, if you would like to join Wilhelm in Lisbon this November to learn more about this and many other areas of the industry, please do get in touch with me or any other member of ACI staff here in the community. Thank you again for joining us today, Wilhelm. I think you've provided some intriguing insights into this increasingly important sector of biolubricants.
I hope I could be of a little bit of help and have a nice day.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Brilliant.